So a few days ago, we had a little bit of an incident go down between two influencers, or should I say one influencer and one SCARFACE bully. The guy on the left goes by the name Scars because he's been up to no good in his life, I presume. And the guy on the right is called Skins. And this Scars singled him out, tried to ask for a fight, kept on harassing him. Then as he started having more drink and more coke throughout the night, things started getting a little bit more heated. There was pushes and shoves. Skins stayed cool, calm and collected, despite the fact that this bully kept on pushing his buttons, and Skins even got a drink thrown on his back by this little wet wipe. So unfortunately, Skins had to leave the event. If you missed the full video of this and you want to see the full storyline unfold, then you can click up here or at the bottom of the description. Now, I was very harsh on this Scars. I called him all sorts in my video, knowing that he was probably going to see it or at least get sent my video. And I said in my video, lad, you need to apologise to Skins, but you also need to do a public apology. Well, it looks like he listened. And this is Scars' first time speaking out since this incident went down. So let's watch it and break it down. Is he really sorry? Or is he really just a bully who now can't cope with the amount of hate that he's getting online? The bully is being bullied. Also, big shout out to everyone who's been supporting my music recently. Been releasing a song a week for the last 6 weeks, and I've just released my new tune right here. I'll leave it down below if you want to check it out. Now, due to this backlash, he ended up deleting all of his social media, and he's now started a new Instagram. I'm not going to share his Instagram with you because I don't really want him to get any more clout than he's already got. People like this, unfortunately, don't really deserve the attention that they crave. So let's watch the apology video and break it down as we go.
I'm doing this video as an apology to Skin, but I'm doing it now because I feel like I'm being drawn out and I'm having to do it right now.
So you're being forced to do it, not because you want to do it?
I already apologised to Skin at the time, about 1 o'clock in the morning. Ended up getting stabbed at 2 in the morning.
Whoa, he got stabbed. If you're getting stabbed, you've done something wrong. Most of the time, it's not just innocent, random bystanders that are getting stabbed. It's usually people who are getting into trouble. What are your bets that after all this situation with Skin went down, he was all amped up, on the booze, on the flaky, wanted to fight because he wasn't able to draw Skin out. So he probably started on someone and he got stabbed. Now look, I don't want anyone to get stabbed. Lad, you're really lucky that it wasn't fatal. Could have hit an artery, could have got you in the heart. Reevaluate what you're doing, mate. And I say this man to man as well.
Maybe it's my karma. I believe in karma. Probably is my karma. He's a wicked geezer, mate. Brilliant geezer. Does a lot for the youth. I've seen him do a video with Stacks, and I have seen him online. I can't say I haven't seen him online, but he's at a boxing event, and obviously I thought that he was, I don't know, like, I just thought maybe I could rage bait him or whatever. I was drunk, and that's not me. That's not who I persona myself as.
But it kind of is though, isn't it? Look, we all know that the drink and the drugs brings out the real side of people. Most of the time, if you're chilled and you have a bevy, you just end up a more chilled version of yourself. But if you're a little bit of a knobhead and then you have a bevy, what happens? You become more of a knobhead. Kind of what happened to you, isn't it? It's not really you, but I'd say it is, Scars.
I do fight for knives down, gloves up, and my last 3 fights were knives down, gloves up. I've been stabbed in the face. I deal with a lot of men's mental health and shit. I help people out in the community. I've made myself look like a and I understand why, and I'm not here to vouch for myself or anyone to feel sorry for me, but this is none of that. I'm pissed off because I'm getting drawn out and I'm being called this and that.
You're pissed off because you're being held accountable for your actions. And look, Scars, that's fine. Don't take this so personal, because if anyone did the same, they should expect the same treatment, myself included. At the end of the day, we're all men, and our success is dictated largely on how accountable we can be to ourselves and how much responsibility we can take for our actions in order to adjust, pivot, and move forward. So yeah, off because you was found out, really.
I'm being made out in 2015, this and that, but I'm 14 these times, and I've got a daughter that's 5, and it's like, people are trying to slander me and make me out to be the worst person in the world because I had a drunken mistake, which isn't an excuse.
What are your bets that you'd act like this on a regular basis, though? I'd put money on it.
I apologise to this geezer. He's a brilliant bloke, and I don't expect him to accept it. I want him to hear this anyway, for him. I did apologise to him before, but
Skins will accept this apology because he's a sound lad. You can just tell he's a down-to-earth guy. And he didn't even want this in the first place. Even after Scars pushed him, shoved him, he got drinks thrown on him, Skins still said to them, lads, have a good night. I can't be here. All the best to yous.
The moral of the story is, I've been posted all over social media. My address has been put out. I live at my nan's house, my granddad's house. My granddad had 3 heart attacks last year. I'm looking after him, I'm there, I'm his carer. The fact that I live there and 5 people have come to my house at 2 in the morning, I'm not saying it is to do with this. Could not be, but my address got leaked and now I can't even go back to my nan and granddad's house to care for my granddad because I don't want to put them in a situation But yeah, that's another story. It's all mad.
No, fair enough. No one's address should get leaked 100%. This was a little bit of drama, something that happens on most nights out. It's just the fact it was filmed on camera. But you've got to remember, the internet is a crazy place. You went up to Jimskins asking for this. This was your demand. You wanted the fight. You said you went up with the intention to rage bait him. Jimskins is a very beloved, huge influencer. What do you think's going to happen if you're a knobhead to someone like that? People are going to get furious about it. So I do not justify the actions of people coming to your house and you're caring for your granddad. I get that. Look, my grandma died of cancer. My granddad had a massive heart attack and then was okay and then died a few years later. Miss your granddad. Love you. However, if I go online and I do something like you, Scars, I understand I'm playing with fire and I don't want to get burnt. So as men, we have to control ourselves and we have to question our own decisions before we even make them. You had plenty of opportunity to stop yourself here. If I was in your situation and I wanted to rage bait Jimskins, I'd sit there for the moment and I'd think twice about it and be like, wait there, do I really want to do this? This is going to go out to the entire internet. This is probably going to hurt my reputation. I'm going to get all sorts of coming back on me. Nah, I'll leave it. I'll shake his hand and say hello instead. That's what you should have done. But look, you've been stabbed multiple times. We've seen you do this on the live stream. It seems like you're not the best at making decisions. People can change. And hopefully, mate, this is a little bit of a turning point for you.
They've come here for watches. They've come here to do me dirty and I'm still standing and you can't stop me. I ain't trying to make this to make myself look like a bellend. I'm this geezer, I'm that geezer. I get our persona on the internet. Look at Big Stacks, he does whatever. But everyone loves him. I've made a video of him. I don't mean I hate him. I think he's cool. But I ain't being broken down. No knives will stop me. I've been stabbed in the face before. I've had my leg dug out before. I've come out of car window screens and whatever, and I've brought myself back. I do a lot for men's mental health and show people why, when they go through stuff like this, that they can continue.
I need to say, yeah, that he mentions a guy called Big Stacks, and he's this guy who walks around going, I'm the hardest geezer in Southend, and he calls loads of people out. But I've seen Big Stacks in person at Darren Till's boxing event in January, and Big Stacks is actually a very respectable guy. How Big Stacks is in real life versus how he is on Instagram is completely different. And as far as I'm aware, Big Stacks doesn't actually start on people in person. He actually shakes their hands and says, oh, you know, it's just for the views, it's just for the internet, I respect you, I love what you're doing, thanks bro, blah 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 blah. So Big Stacks is taking a different approach. You actually got violent, Scars. Big Stacks doesn't do that.
And now I've been stabbed in the leg, I've been stabbed in both arms, machete chopped in my head, stabbed in my hand. They're saying I won't be able to punch this and that, I won't be able to walk. I'm already on my feet a week later. I can't walk.
Mate, why is all that happening to you? You're involved in some bad stuff there, mate. And look, I've got a family. I ain't trying to get involved in all this. Don't come and stab me, Scars. I'm actually just trying to give you a little bit of advice here. All this stuff has happened to you from bad decisions, but you've got a bit of a personality. You can box a little bit. You've got a little spark there. You're talking about men's mental health, this and that. You've got potential. However, you're talking about men's mental health, but then you're actively bullying someone on live stream. And I know you said you was just trying to rage bait him, but you was calling him you was calling him a f***it, you was calling him a victim, and the less the Jimskins wanted to fight, the more you went in on him. That's just bully behaviour, and look, bullying causes mental health problems. I bet your Jimskins sat there for a few days at night time, struggling to go to sleep, thinking, should I have hit him there? Have I been made to look like a fool online? Is this Scars lad going to come after me now? And that's probably messed with Jimskins' mental health slightly. So this is the thing, if you're going to talk about men's mental health, then actually stand by it and prove it with your actions. And be a force for good in this world. Don't go round trying to start fights. There was a better way to do that, Scars. You could have said, Jimskins, look, I do a bit of boxing. You're a big social media figure online. Maybe we can work together. I can put on a boxing event. You can promote it. Maybe we could have a little charity match, me and you, or we could get you set up with someone else who's a similar level to you. Like, that would have been so much better. And something good and positive would have came from this situation. Instead of you now having to stand there in front of your Venetian blinds, giving you apology because you're forced to.
I'm going to be the reason why. I'm going to make a positive thing out of this, and I'm going to make sure that people like me that suffer with knife accidents and people that think they can't do whatever, I'm going to make sure that I fight in the ring again. And Bouncer, you are right. I'm going to have to fight all these people calling me out. I can't pick and choose. That Marcus has called me out. I've spoke to him on the internet, I've spoke to him on the phone, and I said to him, yo, he's cool, man. I rate him, I spoke to him at the event. Same way, I didn't ask Marcus yourself. Anyone ask Marcus? I told him I'll fight him. As soon as I'm better, I'll fight him. He's a good geezer anyway. We're gonna do something, whatever. Like, he's gonna help me out, whatever. He's a good geezer. He's good at what he does. I ain't gonna make out. I can't pick and choose who I'm gonna fight.
I don't know who this Marcus lad is. Maybe we should check it out.
So Scars has finally replied, and he's come out with a video as well.
Right, so it's this guy here. His name is Marcus Portman, Mindset Athlete. I've seen a little bit of him on TikTok. I won't bother watching this. It's over 2 minutes long. But you can go and check him out if you want. So it seems like this guy is called out Scars.
I'm gonna have to fight everyone now and prove myself because I look like a prick. I'm a bellend, man. I feel like a but
No. You don't have to fight everyone, Scars. You really don't. I would argue the opposite. I'll give you some proper advice in a minute on how to get your reputation back.
I don't want sympathy for the knives, but for someone to come to my nan's house, she's old, they're vulnerable, they're scared now, they're constantly scared, but for a stupid video or for a watch. When you come here and try and kill me and I'm standing on my feet, I'm not going to try and make out like I'm a big man and I'm better than anyone, but no knife is going to stop me, and I'm going to prove why knives can't stop me, and I will fight everyone when I'm back on my feet and I'm back walking again. And that's it, that's all I have.
You can hear the clash of the two voices in his head here. He's trying to apologise, then at the same time his ego is being hurt, so he's like, you know, I'm going to fight everyone, I've got to prove myself. You're coming to my house, I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm not going to be pushed around, I'm this, I'm that. I'm all for mental health. I'm sorry to Jim Scars. This isn't really me, I'm not really that type of person. So this is a guy who is driven largely by ego and pride, which we all need a certain amount of, but it can control you. And your ego and pride can either build you to amazing heights, but it can also destroy you. But then I can tell that he wants to do better. I'm not trying to do some sort of psychoanalysis here, but that's just how it's turned out. Look, Scars, if you want to rebuild your reputation, I'm no expert, right? But this is just my 2 cents. This is my opinion. Maybe you guys can give your comments down below. Give him some advice. But I think, rather than just trying to fight everybody to prove your masculinity and prove that you're hard, that won't really win you that many points. You know what's probably a really good idea for you to do, right? Is reach out to Jim Skin and say, look, Jim Skin, I apologise. Let's do a collab. Take him out for a breakfast, go and train in the gym together, have a little bit of lads banter, shake each other's hands, get a bit of friendship going, and just put out some positive messages and start collabing with more positive people. And rather than chasing the clips and the viral moments, just be authentic, be positive, work with these positive people, and the clips and the virality will come afterwards off the back end of this entire situation. That's probably the best thing that you can do right now. Not fight more people, or you put on like a charity boxing night. You're clearly an ambitious lad, but you're definitely controlled by your ego a little bit, and we all are. But I'm just saying, I think it's probably your ego that's getting you stabbed multiple times, that's getting you into these silly situations. So look, Scars, if you are watching this, all the clickbait stuff, all the controversy aside, I do wish the best for you, and I hope that you turn everything round, and I hope no one shows up to your nan and granddads anymore trying to stab you. But it does all start with you, mate. You have to make the change first and show people with your actions that you can be a positive person. So that's all I'm going to say on the matter. At least he came out like a man, did a public apology. It wasn't really the best apology, but I think that's the best we're getting. Here's some of the comments. You're only apologising because you're getting hate when the bully turns victim. I'm actually delighted you tried to bully someone and got bullied by the internet. That's the moral of the story. You know, exactly what I said. Says a lot about you if you've been stabbed multiple times on different occasions. And final one, fair play for apologising, but it seems like you're doing it all because it's backfired. At the end of the day, the bullying should be called out, especially when it's towards genuinely good people. Play silly games, win silly prizes. Actions speak louder than words. There you go. So take my advice, take the internet's advice, get things sorted, Scars, do something positive with your life. If you liked this video, YouTube thinks you'll like this one. A lot of you don't know that I make music as well, so if you like raw, aggressive hip-hop, you can check that out here. And I'm releasing a song every single week for the full year. My streams are popping off right now, so I appreciate all the support. Nice one. See you on the next one.